So thank you for being here today. So what exactly inspired you to pursue a career in the beauty industry and create Thai beauty specifically?
So a lot of people don't know this about me, but I am actually a chemist. So my degree is in chemistry and business, and so I always wanted to do something where I could actually apply that. Secondly, I'm like a big like skincare and makeup buff, so I always enjoyed playing around with products, and I think the two just kind of came together. And I wanted to create something in beauty. I thought about it for a long time before I did it. Type just happened to be the most radical concept out there. It's not something that anyone does in the market. It's not something that anyone does at all. And we managed to find a way to make it work and create this model. So I think it really just came from like passion for this industry, but also from the fact that I have a technical background in it and I love to create stuff. So yeah.
Now that's actually interesting because many people who are into skincare just do like the business aspect, and considering the fact that you did that whole degree in chemistry is actually interesting. So how long was the degree for in like chemistry?
4 years. So I was in Carnegie Mellon and I did a bachelor's in chem. I don't have a master's in chem, but I have a bachelor's in chem with an additional major in business. So I think it's kind of like best of both worlds a little bit.
And how do you exactly stay up to the latest trends and innovations like in the beauty industry because it's constantly evolving?
See, the thing about this industry is that it's always going to be changing and it's very ephemeral, and product development does take a while. So it's not going to be like a trend just randomly emerge and you've got something out there the next day. It's not fashion, it's not that easy, right? It's stuff that people are actually using, putting on their faces, all of that stuff. Testing is really important, but the way we like to do it is we like to see what works based on season, at least to a certain extent.
Right.
So a lot of the products, the way I like to stay ahead of the market is just to kind of make it as easy as possible for the consumer, right? Like I like to create products that a makeup novice can use. And so can someone who, is like a big makeup fiend and has been using every product out there, right? The idea is that it should be so easy that anyone can use it. And that is usually what makes a product viral.
Right. And how
So
long does oh, sorry.
even with even with trends and stuff, like whatever comes out, whatever is currently trending, there's always a way to take a current product and fit it into that aspect of things. And then of course you develop new products basis what's going on in the market.
And how long does it exactly take you to develop a product or go through the whole process?
It takes roughly 6 to 8 months. We, because we have everything in house, have the ability to actually create them a little bit faster than most other people. But in a general statement where you wouldn't have your own manufacturing, then I think it would take at least a year to get a product out,
Okay.
like
And
8 months to a year minimum.
oh wow, okay. And type beauties gained like a significant following and recognition. So what strategies do you exactly have towards the success and the growth of the brand?
I think for us, the idea is to kind of get the message out there. So the way we like to do it is we like to use influencers and influential people. But I think for us, it's more about the customer experience. I think with any kind of brand, with any kind of product that you're selling to people, the most important thing is what your consumer has to say about you.
Right.
And I think if a consumer has a good review always, then what ends up happening is that by word of mouth, the brand tends to grow. Of course, we spend a significant budget on ads and stuff to try and get it out there to as many people as physically possible, right? So for us, our growth strategy initially for the first year was very much using Instagram, using social media to kind of get the word out that hey, there is this brand that does this like really cool stuff that no one else is really doing, and you guys should definitely try it out. But I think now the brand is kind of established a little bit. It's more about getting the consumer opinion out there, getting what people actually have to say about the product out there.
And how do you exactly differentiate yourself from the other brands in the market?
So in the if we look at it from a global perspective, there are a bunch of brands that do makeup. There's a bunch of brands that do skincare. There's a few brands that do makeup infused with skincare, right? In that case, it's usually that they do like one line with like some skincare infused that usually works for most skin types or whatever. The way we do it, which makes us different and sets us apart, is that we categorize every product into different types. So, for example, if we have a concealer, we have three concealers and they all launch together. So, basis your skin concerns, skin type, that is what you end up getting. So, for example, if you have acne, you will get Zitquit, which will help with, breakouts with the salicylic acid in there. If you have like dark circles, puffy eyes, then you use eyelight. It's got caffeine, it'll depuff everything. And if you have like pigmentation, dark spots, which is a very common thing in India, then you use Get Even, which has a vitamin C, it has a niacinamide, it has a bakuchiol, all great stuff to like kind of reduce the pigmentation while you're also concealing it. So the idea of like having type out there is that it's not only makeup that's got skincare in it, but it actually has effective results. So every single product that we launch has been consumer and or clinically tested to prove that there's actually a significant difference in the skin after use, after consistent use. For example, we launched like a light up lipstick, right, which is like the world's first anti-pigmentation lipstick. That lipstick actually is proven to reduce the melanin production in your lips by like 5% over like 14 days of consistent use. So we know it actually works because we've actually had it tested to get the real number out there for you guys. So the entire idea of type is that it's so science backed. We're not talking about like botanicals. We're not talking about like things that are going to like just heal you from the inside out, right? We're not talking holistic beauty. We're talking science backed beauty so that you get effective results from everything that you do. Still clean, still good for you, still non toxic, but very science backed.
I have like a bit of a personal question, considering the fact that I have acne because I'm currently a teenager and I have the zit quit, but at the same time I have dark circles. So would it be possible to mix two concealers in one? Would that be effective?
See, that wouldn't work for a very specific reason because Zitquit has salicylic acid in it. That's a very strong, it's a very strong active, right? So it's always advised to use with caution because the idea is that you use it and actually in 4 days you will see your pimple is gone, more or less, right? So it's strong for that purpose. Now, if you have like dark circles, you can go with either eyelight or Get Even. Both will work because
Right.
both have similar ingredients. Eyelight tends to work for people who are slightly older because they generally have puffier under eyes, which need that. Basically, caffeine helps to kind of depuff the entire area and reduce the like veins that pop out under your eyes over time and over age. So either one will work for dark circles, but that being said, dark circles are generally a very hereditary thing.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of like everyone is out there trying to cure dark circles, but it's not exactly the easiest thing to cure, right? So we can reduce the pigmentation to a certain extent, but 99% of the time, dark circles will be dark circles.
Yeah, I've tried so many products. Like I keep changing it because I see no effect. Like you see it over a
It,
short period of time, but there's nothing out there.
so it's literally just because dark circles are unfortunately most of the time like genetic. And then there's nothing you can really do about it. And sometimes it has something to do with face structure. So
Okay.
like if you have deeper set eyes, you're going to have deeper dark circles. It's just kind of a thing. And it tends to be true for most Indians because we do have like a dip right here more often than not. So That's why even all these global brands come out with these eye illuminators or whatever, which is basically like a lighter version of a concealer. So you can put it in immediately, it'll look better, but like it's still very much there.
Okay. Wow. Yeah, because I was reading the other day, apparently, like Indians have a thicker skin under their under eye region, which creates that whole effect of the like the dark circles.
Yeah, it's that plus it's also face structure. So it's also like this dip that you get here. And like 99% of like Indian, Middle Eastern people will have it.
Yeah. Yes. And if you could describe type beauty with like three emojis, which ones would you use and why?
Three emojis. Wow, that's a good one. The test tube emoji, I think, definitely works there. I would definitely use like a leaf or something like greenery vibes, because clean. And there's a doctor emoji somewhere in there because it's all dermatologist tested.
Yeah. I was thinking you go for a heart because I've asked this question before. Everyone goes for a heart and like whatever industry they're from, but like there's always that heart emoji.
I think, yeah, that's very generic and very easy to do, but I think I prefer to use things that actually describe what gets done.
Yeah, that's actually like the first time I've heard where it's just three emojis without the heart, which is actually quite interesting. And type beauty is all about inclusivity and diversity. So, how exactly do you show that through your marketing campaigns and cater to the wide range of customers that you have?
So honestly, I think we could do better. But whenever we shoot any products, we make sure we have a diverse range of skin tones where we're showing it. We try to show you even lip colors and like eyeshadow colors on multiple different skin tones so you can kind of see what it would look like on you because color theory at the end of the day is very true and very out there. So you need to like the way we structure is that we always have four models with four varying skin tones. It's never about like who looks better, who doesn't look better. Like the way I do model selection is very skin color and skin type based so that we can get a wide range and we can show you that it works for you. And we'll never be using products that aren't ours at any shoot or on anyone. It's always type products. So you can actually see what our products are looking like to put together a whole look and give you, the final whatever. Ideally, I would like to have open castings and more models with like a wider variety so we can showcase like different age groups, different age groups, different skin types, many more colors, obviously, many more shades. Because at the end of the day, you have 24 shades and you're trying to represent it in four people. That's not exactly easy, right? But, somewhere out there, you have to deal with the trade offs of trying to get everything done. And that's why we're not able to show it as much as I would like, but we do try our best.
Yeah, I was going through like your behind the scenes and seeing how exactly you go about it. It's quite interesting. Do you guys also like use those stickers for like creating that perfect swab for like whatever you're shooting for?
A lot of the time we do, but lately, I think for our smudge sticks, when we did it, we didn't use any swatches. I just kind of did it with a palette knife. So some things I think you just pick up. I think over the last year, I've basically become a product stylist by accident. Um, I like to say chief everything officer because everything is like you do everything, right? So I've picked up all these little stupid things that like you wouldn't think are important, but they end up being important. We do use stickers. Actually, I have some of them in front of me right now.
Oh, nice.
Swatch stickers, but we do use them.
Yeah, because like I don't know, I just started like a skincare brand last year, so I was trying to like use like creating swatches on my hands for like face masks and stuff. Like it would look horrible when like the pictures would come out. So
Try a brush. Try a brush because honestly, these stickers are not thick enough to show the effect, like show the texture of like say like any kind of skincare. especially like masks and stuff, you really want to see that texture, right? So I think the best way to do it is to use like a flat brush, like a concealer brush or something. Not like our concealer brush because that's cooler, but I mean like literally like a flat round like foundation brush kind of thing.
Okay, I'll definitely do that then.
I do that and I use a lot of palette knives. Actually, I have like a whole collection of palette knives that I use for all these swatches that we do. Yeah, you learn a lot.
And if you think that type beauty was like a character from a fairy tale, like what would it be? Like why?
Character from a fairy tale. Oof, no one's ever asked me something like that before. Shit. Okay, let me think. This is a really good question. I'm gonna have to give me a second to think about this one. Um, I would actually say like Belle from Beauty and the Beast because she's always reading and there's all this research that goes into it. So I would say that.
That's
But I
actually
think if I thought about it more, I would have like other answers. I'm not 100% sure about this
no, that's a good answer.
one.
And like how do you come up with the packaging exactly for type beauty?
How do I come up with the packaging? So we have designers, obviously, who design the product, but a lot of it has to do with what first we can source. So I have a lot of vendors who will send me packaging. Like these drawers behind me are like we have boxes and boxes of sample packaging that they just send me that I can try, test, whatever, and decide what to go with. I think for us, the general idea is to try and keep everything looking uniform. We have our brand colors, obviously, which everything is in our brand colors, which is what I love about it. But alongside that, I think it's important that the shape is kind of uniform. You kind of get that look. So if you ever go to like a kiosk where you have like type products, you're always going to see everything in square
Yeah, I've noticed
because
that.
everything has sharp edges, including the brushes have sharp edges, and even our blender has sharp edges because it's a diamond. So literally everything will have sharp edges because that's how it's like planned out. And I think the entire idea behind our packaging is that we want to get all the colors in. We want to showcase that there's differences in the range. So even then they will still have like their different color combinations. Like one will be more dominant, one won't. And beyond that, we like to get almost all the important product info on the bottle itself. So you can kind of see like, hey, this is say whatever foundation, this one has SPF in it, this one has blah 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 key ingredients that are going to help your skin, and then obviously the product name will be there. The entire idea behind the design language is very like sciencey and like diagrammatic, so we kind of create it in that way.
It's actually quite interesting. Gives that like subtle Easter egg kind of uniqueness to it. Yeah.
So I think a lot of it does have to do with the color scheme because that was something when we were choosing it. I was kind of set that we need to have a signature color. Instead of doing a signature color, we ended up doing like a signature two. And I think that worked out really well for us. And we wanted something that would stand out because everything about the brand, like we have such a science focus, it might not catch people's attention with the amount of like, serious discussions we're having, like, hey, this is good for your skin. Sometimes you just need a little bit of fun added to it.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like your packaging stands out, and considering the fact that now a lot of teenagers are looking for these brands which have makeup and skincare like integrated together. I don't think there's a lot of it in India as of now, but abroad, like
Yeah,
now, hair beauty is very up and coming. I mean, a lot of my friends now
yeah,
are abroad and just buying these products because they're not easily available.
yeah. They will be soon though. I think they're coming to India this month.
15th of June. Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you were to collaborate with any brand or company, what would your dream collaboration partner be?
If I was to collaborate with anyone, like worldwide,
Yeah, worldwide.
oh shit. I'm honestly not sure, but we do a lot of collaborations with other brands within India itself. We have actually a really cool one coming up. I was just on a call for that. I think the idea behind these collaborations for me is usually that we make sure that we have. I love working with other brands that have women founders. It works really well. I think everyone's kind of on the same page a little bit more. Um, and honestly, I have so many founder friends at this point that it's literally, it ends up becoming like we all collaborate amongst each other in like a weird way. So it's kind of cool, I think, because it's more about like women supporting women than it is about anything else.
Yeah. And plus, like, if you're collaborating with your friends, I mean, it's really easy to do.
I think even over the course of time, we all just became friends, even if we weren't to begin with, like, yeah. Like if I didn't know someone and like we started working together, we ended up being friends. It just happens like that, I think. And it's really important to have that community. It's
Yeah,
kind
that.
of cool and special.
And if you could create a custom type beauty product based on your favorite dessert, what ingredients would you go about using?
My favorite dessert. You would create something infused with obviously chocolate and cocoa.